Ever wondered how to play craps? Pondered over the intricacies of making wagers, or perhaps you've been mystified by the game's unique lingo? Well, wonder no more. Today, we dive deep into the world of craps, a game of chance and strategy where the roll of the dice can bring fortune or failure. Craps is a thrilling casino game played with dice. It's steeped in tradition, with roots stretching back to the time of the Romans, but fear not. You don't need to be a historian to play, just an understanding of the rules and a dash of courage. The game begins with a come-out roll. This is the first roll of the dice by the shooter. If the come-out roll is a 7 or 11, all pass-line bets win. If the come-out roll is a 2, 3, or 12, all pass-line bets lose. If any other number is rolled, that number becomes the point. Now, you might be wondering, what is a pass-line bet? It's a wager that the shooter will roll a 7 or 11 on the come-out roll, or will make the point before rolling a 7. The opposite of the pass-line bet is the don't-pass-line bet. This is a wager that the shooter will roll a 2, 3, or 12 on the come-out roll, or will roll a 7 before making the point. Craps isn't solely focused on the pass and don't-pass-line bets. A whole host of additional wagers come into play. To delve into these further, let's start with taking odds on place bets on the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10, which open up more winning opportunities. However, there are some important details to remember while placing these bets. Place bets on the 6 and 8 need to be multiples of increments such as 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, etc. Conversely, place bets on the 5 and 9 should be in increments of 5, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and the trend continues. For the 4 and 10, it's beneficial to buy in at increments of 10s, starting a minimum at $20 and increasing by 10s to 40, 50, 100, 150, 200, and so on. When making a place bet, you're wagering that a particular number will roll before a 7. For instance, if you place a bet on either 6 or 8 of $60, you can add odds of $25 to possibly win $100. However, this applies unless there is a bet on the field bet, which is a one-roll proposition bet. Now, let's move on to hot bets. These are one-roll bets. Predicting the next roll will be a specific combination of numbers. Feel free to make a hot bet on any dice, including the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. And let's not overlook the Hardways. A hardway bet is a wager that the shooter will roll a pair, for example, 2 3s before rolling a 7 or another combination. Place bets, odds, hardways on the 4, 6, 8, and 10 endure until a 7 is rolled. Both hardways and hot bets can win substantial amounts of money, all depending on the size of the bet. Now, on to pressing and taking down a bet. Pressing a bet means to increase the amount of your wager. You might decide to press a bet after a win to capitalize on a hot streak. Taking down a bet, on the other hand, means to remove your wager from action. You might decide to take down a bet if you're feeling less confident about your chances. So, to recap, craps is a game of chance played with dice, where you can make a variety of bets, including pass and don't pass line bets, place bets, hot bets, and hardways. You can also press or take down a bet depending on your strategy and confidence. With this knowledge in hand, you're now ready to step up to the craps table with confidence. Remember, craps is not just about the roll of the dice, but also about the strategy you employ and the decisions you make. So go forth, make your bets, and may the dice roll in your favor. Here's another important aspect to consider when you're stepping up to a craps table, the table limits. These can vary greatly depending on where you're playing. For instance, if you're on board a ship, the table limit is usually around $300. This is a great setting for beginners or those who prefer to play it a bit more conservatively. Now, if you're at a Native American casino, you're looking at a much higher ceiling. Here, the max bet can go up to $6,000 on the table of one shooter. This offers higher stakes and potentially higher returns, but also carries a greater risk. Then we have the big leagues. At places like MGM or other big-name casinos, the range can be anywhere from $15,000 to a whopping $1 million for the whale bettors, also known as the high rollers. And speaking of high rollers, these players enjoy a special privilege. They have no limits, no restrictions. They can bet up to $100,000 to $1 million or even millions. But remember, with higher bets come greater risks. So always play responsibly and within your limits. Up next, we'll be wrapping up this guide to craps, so stay tuned. Now, let's talk about a prop bet that can really spice up your game, the 5-5-5 bet wager. This bet is a unique one where you're betting on all small numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or all tall numbers 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to hit before a 7 is rolled. It's a fascinating way to play as it adds an extra element of suspense to each roll. Now, if all small or all tall numbers are rolled before a 7, you're looking at a payout of 34 to 1. That's 34 times your original bet. But here's where it gets even more exciting. If all the numbers from 2, 6 and 8, 12 hit before a 7, the payout is a whopping 175 to 1. That's 175 times every dollar placed on an all small, all tall, hit 'em all bet. So if you're feeling lucky, why not try the 555 bet wager? Just remember, the higher the payout, the higher the risk. So always play responsibly and may the dice be in your favor. And that brings us to the end of our in-depth look at the exciting world of craps. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps us to keep creating content that you find valuable. Have any thoughts or questions about the strategies we discussed? Or maybe you have a unique approach to the game that you'd like to share. We'd love to hear from you, so please leave a comment below. Your insights and questions give us ideas for future videos and help to create a community of passionate craps players. And if you want to keep up to date with our latest content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more videos on the way, filled with insights, strategies, and tips to help you elevate your game. Thanks for watching, and remember, whether you're a seasoned player or just starting out, the most important thing is to enjoy the game. Play responsibly and may the dice be in your favor.